Hey guys,
it's
Tick.
and Jack.
Welcome back to DS3. I forgot that was my
Yeah, come on, bro. What the heck?
Sorry.
What the heckity heck?
We're in a weird transition between you and me.
This guy over here, not doing his due diligence.
Tired too.
Wake your ass up.
Can't help it. I have fucking sleeping problems.
Stop it. Take some drugs.
See, but if I do that, I literally won't wake up the next day in time to go to work. I can start doing it now because it's summertime.
Take sleepy drugs.
But also, I can't do it now because it's summertime and we have a new guy. I mean, I can't like too. But we'll have like a new guy working with us for a little while, and sometimes he'll rely on me, especially actually for that first week entirely. He'll rely on me to get into the school, unless they change his like friggin' badge. And it lets him. It's not like we can give him this spare custodian stuff for a while. And Missy will be on vacation for her anniversary early this year because her daughter's going to New York.
Fancy schmancy.
So,
Like a school trip or something.
I didn't ask. Didn't care.
Fair enough.
Looking around for who asked.
Looking around for all the shits I don't have. Oh boy.
I give zero fucks. Sort of generally speaking.
Good squid.
So,
Oh my god.
I had a week there where my depression was really bad. It was great.
Yeah. It's always a good time. Bonk. Wow, he really just let you do that, didn't
Yeah, he was casting a spell though, to be fair.
Yeah, this spell took her fucking ever.
Yeah. It dealt a lot of damage to me.
Jesus Christ. Alright, you ready for me to read off your shit deck?
Bye.
Toxrill the Corrosive.
Yeah.
This is the commandy. Alright. At the beginning of each end step, put a slime counter on each creature you don't control. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 for each slime counter on them. Whenever a creature you don't control with a slime counter on it dies, create a 1/1 black slug creature token. Pay 1 black and 1 blue, sacrifice a slug, draw a card. Drawing the card is nice too.
Yeah.
Especially if you're managing to kill people's creatures and stuff.
Especially if I'm fucking decimating a goblin army. Yeah.
Sorry, Brain, I don't think your deck's fast enough for the goblins.
Oh, it definitely isn't. And that's a 7 drop. I don't have anything that reduces that or anything, so.
Yeah, my freaking goblins start popping hard on turn 4 guaranteed.
Exactly.
So it's like, you know. But you do have a lot of mana stuff in there, so honestly, you could probably get him out really
turn
early.
5, maybe?
Depending. Well, let's see. So
if I did really good, turn 5 early, I think.
Yeah, that's tough. Okay, so let's see. Obviously, you need the Dark Ritual because you just get 3 mana for that. So you get. I mean, if you get the Dark Ritual and you get a Soul Ring early on, I mean that's easy because then turn 2 you have 4 mana, right?
Yeah.
And then, so that's good. So turn 3, that's 5. If you didn't also play like turn 3 some other like artifact that gives you mana.
Right. So, like, perfect circumstances, I have 3 land, an Arcane Signet or an equivalent,
Yeah.
a Soul Ring, and Dark Ritual.
Yeah. On turn 3. Turn 3.
Turn 3, it would drop.
Yeah, he would drop. That
Maybe.
Well, yeah, 'cause what?
Because Arcane Signet is 1,
Yep.
2 for Soul Ring, 3 for Dark Ritual,
Putting it at 6.
so it would be turn 2.
Okay, because you do it with 1 less mana.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be turn 2 though, because turn 1 you play the land, you play the Soul Ring. Turn 2 you draw.
Well, say it's my
Arcane
opening
Signet's-
hand.
Oh, Arcane Signet is
Oh,
2
2
drop.
drop.
Okay,
And so
yeah.
you would play Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and a land, turn 1.
Turn 1.
And then turn 2, you just play a land, and you could use Dark Ritual.
Yeah, because then
probably.
you play the Dark Ritual, you have 3
Yeah.
floating, hit the last land, that's 4, and then you got 3 more.
That's 7. Yeah,
And that's
turn
7.
2. But that's a theoretically perfect hand.
Yeah, that's theoretically.
Which, like, statistically impossible.
Yeah, because
So-
because of the way Commander works. Yeah, but it'd be cool.
But imagine.
But if you got him out on turn 2, dude,
Yeah.
dude, you couldn't lose. You'd win that game.
I also have a Temple of the False God in there.
Oh,
which
yeah.
it gives 2 land,
If you
2
control.
colorless if you control 5 or more lands.
Yeah.
So turn 5, you get a 2 bonus land,
Yeah.
theoretically.
Yeah, so I mean, so, theoretically it is possible you can get him out, like, really fucking quick.
Yeah.
But
I'd have to have a near perfect hand.
Yeah, that's a tough one to sell.
That's a tough sell for sure.
Yeah.
And that is 2 turns earlier than you can get Krenko out.
Yeah,
In most situations.
in most situations. But I can get Cranko out guaranteed turn 2 if I have a Soul Ring in my opening hand.
Exactly.
And that's all I need. But otherwise, he's turn 4 guaranteed. Or turn... Darn, no, he's definitely turn 4. Yeah. Because I was going to say turn 3, but then I'm like, there's one Goblin in that deck.
Turn 3, if you top deck a Soul Ring
Yeah, if I top deck a Soul Ring.
with 3 land.
Yeah. But it's really fun.
Yeah, I love how it's turn 3, turn 3 if you happen to be under very specific circumstances.
Yeah, exactly.
Which top decking a Soul Ring on turn 3 is crazy odds, but like possible.
It's possible. It's really funny though. So like in my like tournament stuff that I was doing, I was playing the Goblin Commander,
Yeah.
and he beat the Soldier deck, right?
Mhm.
But the only reason it was able to beat the Soldiers is because 2 games out of the 3, he managed to get a Soul Ring in his opening hand.
Oh dang.
And so he was able to get Cranko out on turn 2, which the Soldiers just couldn't beat that. But
Right.
literally, if he didn't get those Soul Rings out,
Would've lost.
Yeah, he would have lost guaranteed. He only won because of the Soul Ring, which he happened to get twice out of the 3 games, which was funny as hell. Because otherwise,
But that is like a whole thing about Magic is
Yeah.
about the odds.
it is. It's about a luck thing. So I'm like, even though it's like technically, like most
No.
likely he's gonna lose, like
No.
it's still worth playing because you never know. You got cursed.
I knew it was coming too, but I couldn't target him. It would only target the turtle bitch.
That sucks.
And I tried to kill him, but it wouldn't switch over the target, and I couldn't untarget for a moment for some reason.
Silly. Okay, Arcane Signet. I was right here at the top.
Arcane Signet's
1
no
mana.
shit.
1 mana. Exquisite Blood. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life.
That is a 4-drop.
That's a 5-drop, actually.
5-drop? Fuck, dude. I thought
Yeah,
it was
it's
4.
expensive.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. You can get that out super early, too. I mean,
Yeah, but that's a win con right there.
and that's 2 more turns faster than Slug.
Yeah, then Slug Boy. Bastion of Remembrance. I like that one. Whenever it enters, you get a 1/1 soldier, which is just funny.
That's one I'm considering taking out.
That's fair. And whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. It's a silly little guy. I don't
Yeah.
know how like necessary he is for this deck.
I have a lot of cards in there that do that thing. too.
Yeah.
Whenever a creature dies, you lose 1 life again.
Yeah.
So, but like, it's better than some of them. Like, Blood Artist is target opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life.
Oh yeah.
Whereas Bastion of Remembrance and like Cruel Celebrant,
Yeah.
our opponents lose 1 life and
Yeah.
gain 1 life.
So everybody's taking hits for it.
Yeah, and that's why it's better.
Yeah, that's why I like having Bastion in my zombies because he's like an alternate win con to
Yeah.
like Grave Pack specifically, which is that whole deck's like thing is sacking its own creatures and bringing them back.
Right.
And I needed a whole nother win con because Grave Pack just wasn't reliable enough to like just get in. Phyrexian Arena. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Okay, extra draw.
Yeah,
And that works well with life gain, a whole bunch of it.
and that's the only reason it's still in there. Is like I'm even gaining a whole bunch of life probably.
Yeah, the odds are. Blood Letter of
I say Axolotl
Axolotl. That's fair.
because it's really close.
What is it even? How do you even pronounce it?
That's like
Aclazots.
Aclazots, yeah, I think so.
That sounds right. It's a terrible thing to say though. Aclazots. It's hard to.
So Axolotl,
Yeah, Axolotl works.
that's what I say. That's like a $50 card.
It's an astronaut. Where'd you get this card, Brayden?
I pulled it a
You-
long time ago.
You pulled a $50 card. And you just put it in a box like a fool.
I didn't know it was a $50 card. Listen, I open packs for usable cards, not to like hopefully pull
No.
something to sell.
You open
I'm not a
packs.
fucking junkie. I am a junkie, but for dice usually. I mean,
You open packs because you're a gambler. Just admit it.
No, I'm really not.
Just admit it.
Freaking.
You like the thrill of opening packs.
I like opening packs, but I like getting usable cards out of it.
Yeah, but
not
nobody
just,
opens packs for usable cards.
Except I do. I literally just told you that.
You can tell me that all you want. Doesn't
It's
make
not
it
like
true.
I'm looking for money makers. I'm not trying to pull a shiny Charizard.
Yeah, but if you were looking for like usable cards, you would just get the cards that you need.
But it's cheaper to get the packs sometimes.
But it's not.
It is though. I got that fucking card for $4.
Yeah, but after you spent
$4.
basically the equivalent to get a whole bunch of cards that weren't good.
But all of those cards are useful under certain circumstances. That's the thing.
No,
It's like almost every card can be truly useful.
just nah.
And some are just slightly more useful than others.
Just nah, bro. Just nah.
Listen,
Yep.
I know you don't understand, but
I know how it works. I know how gambling works.
I'm not gambling.
It is gambling.
No, because I'm not trying to turn a profit. That's the main thing about gambling that sets it apart. Is I'm not trying to win something. You know?
Well, it's the same thing. Even if you're not like trying to get the best like cards in the set, you're still buying a pack in hopes of the odds of you getting cards that you could actually want. You know,
Well,
which is a
yeah.
form of gambling.
But again, if I want like specific cards, I'll go buy them. But I'm not
Yeah.
trying to get specific cards. I want to open packs because I enjoy opening packs. But also, I get bonus useful cards out of it. Those are like the main reasons. It's like,
No.
yeah, it's nice to open a pack
No,
and
he's-
look at the cards.
he's broken. Break his legs.
Sure, buddy.
Just break his legs. Save him the trouble.
But that's why I like opening packs. Is you get a bunch of useful cards and you get the satisfaction of opening packs. Like,
I remember when I used to open packs. I haven't opened a freaking booster pack in like a million years.
I haven't opened a booster pack in like two years.
Since the like card shop died. Nah, not since then. Because you stopped going and buying packs.
That's not true. I opened some packs. I bought a fat pack from the Murders at Karlov Manor a while back that I never opened. I'm like, huh. And I opened it and looked through them.
Just never opened
Yeah,
it.
I had 9 unopened packs in there.
Okay.
And it died.
What a freak. Alright, flatline. Creatures your opponents control have base power and toughness 0-1 until end of turn.
It's actually where a lot of those like full art and foil lands came from, is that fat pack.
What is it? That's kind of funny. Oh man. See, I wish I could find more like bulk cards in town to like buy and resell.
Right.
It's hard to find in town because
Everybody in town who has Magic cards plays.
yeah, and there's hardly even anybody in town that plays. It's like-
Exactly.
it's not even like a big pool of people as it is, let alone
Right? Because theoretically you could get some deals off of some of them.
Yeah, theoretically.
But, fuck, dude.
But it
There's
requires-
not that many people.
Yeah, there's not that many, and then it's obviously significantly less of those people are trying to sell a whole bunch of their cards for really cheap because they're just like keeping the cards
Yeah.
It's-
Amassing their collection.
pretty much, and so it's like fair enough. It's just obviously it's not good for my business. Let's see. Maha, it's fearless feathers knight. Yep. Flying, trample, ward, discard a card. Creatures your opponents control have base toughness 1. That's it. He just is on the field, and they all
Just
have.
does that fucked up thing.
He just sits there, and they all just have that.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. That's fucking rude as hell.
That's why I have that card though.
Of course.
It's
I mean,
like it's perfect for my deck.
it's perfect.
If all your boys have base toughness 1, it doesn't matter how big they are.
It doesn't.
Especially when they get -1/-1 every turn.
Yeah, exactly. You literally have to get one freaking counter on them of slime. They're dead.
Yeah.
That's it. Gone. No matter how big your creature
Like
could
I
be.
said, there's a few cards in there that do that kind of thing.
Yeah, your creature could be like a 300 dead.
It has base power and toughness 1/1.
Yeah.
So
Only toughness.
oh, whatever.
But it doesn't matter because they're dead.
Yeah, because they're getting minuses.
They're getting
so
dead.
even if they're getting pluses,
It's still
like, yeah.
Yeah. But that's really fun.
Oh, I should have waited.
All right. Massacre Worm. When there's battlefield, creatures your opponents control get -2/-2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, that player loses 2 life. Damn. Ayara, first of Lochwain. Lochwain? It or another black creature enters the battlefield under your control. Each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life.
And those slugs are black.
They are. Sacrifice another black creature, draw a card. Look, for that one, you could do the Slime's ability, but for free. You just have to tap her.
Well, and then I can sacrifice the slug and ping you for damage because my creature died.
Exactly.
Like that kind of shit.
Yeah, but that's the point, though. Is like this one does what he does when it comes to drawing a card by sacking a creature.
Exactly.
Bam, look at that. Contamination. During your upkeep, sacrifice a creature or sacrifice contamination. Whenever a land is tapped for mana, it produces black instead of its normal type and amount.
Yeah.
That's fucking rude as hell.
That's,
That is literally a card that just shuts down decks.
yep.
Like how do you
Like Blood Moon.
how would you even like get rid of that? Oh, it's during your upkeep you have to sacrifice a creature or that. So I guess that's the
Yeah. So if I don't have a creature, I sack it.
yeah, but like you could play this card and completely shut down somebody's ability to play the game, like completely.
Yeah.
Like to where
Blood
like
Moon does a very similar thing. Blood Moon turns all non-basic lands into basic mountains.
damn. Yeah.
So.
But it's just funny to think about because if you're token spamming, then you just never have to worry about it.
Exactly.
But like I don't even think
And then, because I'm sacrificing creatures, I'm pinging you for damage for every creature I sacrifice to keep that on the field to shut you down.
yep. But like odds are the other person if they're
It
not
affects me as well, so I can't make blue land anymore. But
well yeah, but like but it only affects lands though. So artifacts can still produce blue.
yeah.
But like that's the point though, is like other players if they aren't playing a black deck or a deck that has black in it, they just won't do anything. For like whole turns.
Yeah.
They'll play lands, but that's it. Unless they have artifacts. They'll play artifacts. But like odds are they're not playing any artifacts they're gonna, win the game for them in that instance.
Right.
They'll play something that's like helpful, but
So
not.
fucking disrespectful.
It's super considering
That
it's
is
only
one
3 mana.
I am considering getting rid of just because of the creature cost.
Oh, I guess.
And there's already not that many creatures in the deck, but whatever.
But you can just choose to sack him just instead of sacking
Right.
creatures. So it's like if you're like, oh, I want to keep all the creatures I still have, so I'm willing to get rid of.
I see
him.
that more of a late game card, anyways.
Well, yeah, it's fair
Fucking.
because you have to have an army of creatures in order to like maintain it.
Exactly.
But odds are you will have enough later game because of the slug. So, Baleful Strix, Flying Deptos. Enters battlefield, draw a card. Contagion Clasp. Enters battlefield with a -1 counter on target creature. Pay 4, tap it. Proliferate. Proliferate.
That's just a good one, too.
It's just a solid one.
And I can proliferate sludge counters.
Yay! Can you proliferate counters on other people's creatures? Is that how proliferate works?
It says choose any number
Oh yeah,
of.
yeah. Any number
permanents.
of permanents and/or players with counters on them.
Yep.
Give each another counter of a kind already there. It's hilarious.
I don't have any poison counters in the deck. But proliferate goes nuts with those.
Oh yeah, super nice. Skull Clamp. A quick creature gets +1, -1. Whenever a quick creature dies, draw 2 cards. Equip them.
But my slugs are 1/1s.
Yes, you
So I
just
can
equip
just
for 1.
bamfo a slug to draw a card for free, basically.
Two cards.
Exactly.
Yeah, you get just 2 cards for free, and you could equip this onto other people's cards too.
Yeah.
Creatures. And bam, just start fucking murking creatures, the little weak ones. Especially if you've given them all toughness of 1, you just pay a single mana to kill everybody's creatures, because it's just and you get to draw a shit ton of cards while you're at it. That's just a fun one. Toxic Deluge.
Oh yeah, Toxic Deluge. Fuck yeah.
As additional cost to cast it, pay X life. All creatures get -X until. Yep, it's just a nice simple little board wipe.
Yeah, that is one I'm considering getting rid of as well.
That's fair though.
But not because of any reason beyond like,
Yeah, it's okay. It has.
it doesn't go great, and it's like target creature.
No, all creatures.
So
So it kills yours too. If your weak creatures aren't strong enough.
fucking whatever.
Well, yeah, but that's
I don't
the
give a
whole-
shit about my creatures most of the time, anyways.
That's the whole point.
A lot of that deck runs off of just murking a creature.
It's true.
So-
Your own creatures too.
Exactly.
Command tower. Mass diminish. Until your next turn, creatures target player controls have base power and toughness 1/1, and flashback for 4. Polymorphous Jest. Until that turn, each creature a target player controls loses all abilities and becomes a blue Frog with base power, toughness 1/1. Urborg, Tomb of Yugmoth.
Tomb of Yugmoth.
Each land is a swamp in addition to its good land types. Soul Ring. Obviously, this is the Soul Ring you snagged from Connor's pile of shit.
Yeah, the Command Tower, the Arcane Signet.
Yeah.
There's a couple others.
It's got
the
that-
Commander Sphere.
It's got the symbol on it.
Yeah.
Call. What are you waiting for?
Douchebag.
Call to the Grave. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-zombie creature. At end of turn, if no creatures are in play, sacrifice Call to the Grave. Okay, fair enough.
So I can just make you sacrifice creatures the entire time. And I'm not worried about my slugs, because I don't fucking care about them. And when you sacrifice a creature, I get more slugs.
And so you can just sack those slugs, and it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Because they're just shitty 1/1 slugs.
And that's why it stacks the way it does.
Yeah, exactly. Drown and Ichor. Target creatures -4/-4 until end turn, deliver it. That's rough for only 2 mana. Altar the Brood. Can't go wrong with an altar. Dude, I love fucking Altar the Brood.
I don't know how useful Altar of the Brood will be. Like, that's one I'm considering getting rid of as well. We'll see how it runs, basically.
I'm sure it'll be useful enough.
Yeah.
Once you get your slug guy popping.
No!
Oh, wow. Waited all that time and freaking whiffed it.
He was just too far away for me to kill.
Gosh. Whisper of the Dross. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end turn. Deliver it. Choose any number of target permanents. Yeah, that's fine. Counter spell. Counter target spell. That's all. For 2 mana. That's funny. Lightning Greaves. Equipped creature has haste and can't be a target of spells or abilities. Equipped for 0. Black Market. Are any of these cards like banned in anything?
Not that I know of.
Okay. I just figured I'd ask because I don't.
The settings on my thing, on that
That like app or whatever.
yeah, on the app, it auto sets to legal in these types. So,
That's
like, pretty much every card it suggests
should be
will be legal,
Yeah.
and most cards that it pops up will be legal.
Yeah.
And they're marked not legal.
That's fair. Black Market. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, put a charge counter on it. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add black to your mana pool for each charge counter on black. Wow. Wing.
More Black Mana Ramp, maybe.
That's a lot of black mana ramp, though. That can be a lot. That could be a lot.
And what is that, like a 3-drop?
It's a 5-drop, though.
5-drop.
So,
So theoretically, I could get it out turn 3.
yeah, but yeah, because obviously this would be worth playing using the freaking Dark Ritual, just because of its potential
Yeah.
of like a pretty large amount of mana.
And it's like every upkeep I put a new counter on it, which increases it to more, right?
Not whenever a creature's put into a graveyard from play.
Oh, okay.
So basically, whenever somebody's creature dies, he gets a counter on it.
And that includes tokens, because
Yeah.
tokens ping to the graveyard first,
Exactly.
which is great.
It's so like yeah, it could get pretty gnarly pretty quick depending on how fast other people's creatures are dying.
Yeah.
Especially if you're placing against a deck that also sacks creatures a lot, because then it's gonna be just stacking mana pool. You'll like end up with like starting that first main phase with like fucking 20 mana.
Yeah.
It's like, well, now I just play everything in my hand, I guess. I draw like 7 cards and play all of them.
But that's the point.
Exactly. Animate Dead. When you play Animate Dead, choose target creature card in any graveyard. When it comes into play, put that creature into play, and Animate Dead becomes a creature enchantment that targets the creature. Enchanted creature gets -1/-0. If Animate Dead leaves play, bury the creature. Okay, for 2 mana, that's pretty good though. You get to steal
It's like
some.
mind control.
Yeah, but for 2 mana, you get to steal a creature from a graveyard and put it into play under your control.
Yeah, and I can take them from my graveyard. if
You
I
can take
so
them.
please.
Yeah, yours, anybody else's. That's pretty freaking nice. For only 2 mana as well, that's like really good.
Yep.
And most of the time, you just be stealing creatures that have abilities more than what they like attack power
Yeah.
is. So them losing any attack power doesn't matter.
Well, and if it's an instant, I could steal Krenko.
It's not. It's an enchantment.
Yeah.
It just straight up is just an enchantment.
I could give it Flash and then steal Krenko. Because he has to go to the graveyard first.
It's true enough. True enough.
It's easy for you to send him away from the graveyard, but before you're able to do that, I can just steal him.
Yeah, but can I
Yoink.
send him from your side back into the command zone?
Yeah. But I can just steal him, because if he's on the battlefield, he can't be sent to the command zone. But once he dies on my side, you can send him back to your command zone.
Oh, so if you do take control of somebody's creature, commander, they don't get to take it back by putting it back to the command zone.
No, because the rules state while it's on the battlefield, it can't be in the command zone.
Okay.
But once it leaves the battlefield, it'll go back to the command zone.
See, I feel like you've told me the opposite before, and so I wasn't able to steal your commanders for this exact reason. Because I feel like I played a deck where I had the ability to steal it, and then it was like, well, I'll just take it back and put it back in my thing. It's like, I'm gonna punch you in your nose.
I'm normally pretty good about the rules.
Oh, I'm like, you're dead.
I have a hard time reading cards all the way through because fucking it says it does a thing. I'm like, okay, it does that thing. And then at the very, very end of the text in italics, which I can already hardly read, it says, oh, and then you sacrifice the creature at the end.
Yeah.
Like, in like the smallest fucking misprint possible.
And then, oh yeah, by the way, it's not forever.
Yeah. I'm like, what's the point of this card then? Like Myriad did that to me.
That's funny.
I'm like, I'm supposed to sacrifice tokens at the end of fucking combat? That sucks ass. I don't like that.
Oh, like
Why would I play this card?
racism. That's why. Vampiric Tutor. Pay 2 life. Search your library for any one card. Shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. For 1 mana, that's good though.
Yeah. And I just lose 2 life with it.
Yeah, but in a deck where you're gaining it doesn't really matter, does it?
Nope.
Agent of the Iron Throne. Commander creatures you own have whenever an artifact or creature you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. Nice. Thrumming Bird, flying, and it deals combat damage to a player, proliferate. That's fine.
No.
Sludge Monster. Whenever Sludge Monster enters the battlefield or attacks, put Slime counter on up to 1 other target creature. Non-horror creatures with slime counters on them lose all abilities and have base power and toughness of 2/2. That's really funny. That's really funny.
Yeah, with those I can turn off your Krenko and then kill him with my other guy.
Well, he would, yeah. Basically, what would end up happening is he would just get turned into a 2/2 and then fucking die because he lost. Because all my other creatures lose all their buffs as well.
Yep.
So it's just really funny because of Bitch Boy over there fucking shit up.
It's a good combo though.
It is a good combo.
Like it's nicely set.
It's definitely solid. Spark Double. You may have Spark Double enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature or planeswalker you control, except it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. If it's creature, it enters with an additional loyalty counter if it's a planeswalker. And if it isn't legendary, if that permanent is legendary. And it isn't legendary if it is. Yes, makes sense.
Which means I can have 2 of my commanders.
Yeah, you can have 2 of the Slug Boys.
Oh,
and just
fucking double up on that shit.
Ugh, that'd be rough, man. That'd be hard to play.
Dude, freaking, that's a thing. Spark Double is in the Planeswalker deck.
Yeah.
And I make it a copy of, like, Jace or something. Like,
Yeah.
It depends. And then it starts with extra counters. And then you can, like, double up and activate all Jaces multiple times. And because it's a copy of Jace, I can activate it multiple times as well. And, like, there's a bunch of shit you can do. And it's like a compounding effect where you end up activating this one specific type of Jace, like, 4 times in a turn. Or more.
It's so silly.
Or 8 times, because it's like 4 apiece.
It's freaking
So,
wild.
like, yeah, no, you can do so much cool shit with Spark Double. And some of the other cards.
Demir Signet. Thought Vessel. You know from his size. I have 1 colorless Jamaican. Dark Ritual. Water Grave. It's an island swamp. Comes into play, you may pay 2. If you don't, comes into play 10. Yep, that's a classic.
Nope.
Blood Artist. Whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, the target player loses 1 life. And you gain 1 life. Ooh. That's good, though. Because that's whenever any creature dies. Not just yours. That's pretty solid. Tesseret's Gambit. Draw 2 cards, then proliferate. Sanguine Blood. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life.
That word is bond, not blood.
Blood.
God damn it.
It's blood.
It's bond.
Blood. Commander Sphere.
Uh,
Yep, we all know what that does. Mirkwood Bats. Flying, whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life.
That's pretty good.
I did like the one, what is it? Fucking the Blood Artist though. That one's rough. Because that's whenever anybody's creatures die.
Yeah.
You just they lose life, or well, not they necessarily. You could specifically target one person.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh,
That's a thing I don't like. Cruel Celebrant does the same thing, except it says each opponent.
oh, yeah.
So,
Where's
which is just objectively better.
is she in here?
No,
Celebrant?
Cruel Celebrant is black-white.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it's a 2-drop as well, though. One of each. And she's a 1/1.
Yeah.
Which is better than Bullet Artist, which is a 0/1.
It's true. It's true, I guess. But
Both of them are in the VIP deck, the tribal one I have.
yeah. Of course.
That's why not, obviously.
Feed the Swarm. Destroy target creature or enchantment your opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's converted mana cost. Oh my god, it's a man.
Oh my god, it's a gay guy. Huh?
Have I?
What's like
Oh, it's because it's like
the door, and I'm assuming shops the table or the chair legs.
we did chalk the chair legs.
I did see that.
Got them all shortened up. Hopefully they're short enough.
Oh, there it is.
And if they're not, well, I don't know.
Fuck.
Dead people, I guess.
Oh,
Alright.
oh, I got him.
Grave Pact.
Not who I thought I was going to get, but I got him.
Whenever any creature you control is put into any graveyard, each other player sacrifices a
This one's
creature.
mine.
No!
Were those the things? Those aren't the things that cat do, and I get great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have fucking forgotten.
And he forgot him, and then never came back to get him.
Yep,
Silly little boy.
Have you even seen Luna recently?
I have. And Bailey feeds are everything.
Defiant Bloodlord. Flying. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Oh yeah, it's Defiant Bloodlord. He just does. He just has.
But
that
he's
it's-
like a 7-drop,
Yeah, but he's just like.
which is the only problem with it.
Yeah, but he's an alternate, so just in case you need him or
What did
whatever.
you think of Josh Holiday?
It's good. I like it.
You like it?
We've had it before.
Yeah.
Forever ago.
So
Yeah.
it's the good
Literally
shit. It's not like it
forever ago.
changes.
Always remember. You're just stealing my milk.
Just a bit.
You didn't even ask.
Hey,
Did I?
Thomas, can I have some milk?
No. Put it back. No, you can. Put it back. Reanimate. Put target creature card from any graveyard into play on your control. Lose life equal to that creature's total casting.
That one's a sorcery, I think.
It is, but for only 1 mana, that's really good. Oh, you dead.
I thought I had that CD, but...
Bowl coffers. Pay 2, tap it. Add one. Add black to mana pool for each swamp.
How have you guys been?
Oh, we're good. You know, living the dream out here, out in the way world. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
The showers at the gym are actually pretty nice.
Solid showers.
They got good water pressure. They could be a little bigger though.
That's fair.
Yeah.
They probably didn't opt for the full size luxury deluxe
No,
shower size.
Certainly it's not as
They
big
were
as
like
in the hotels.
cubicle shower size.
Yeah.
That's,
But again, the showers got really good water pressure.
why is this really important? I fixed up the shower in my room over there because I was using the one in here, but that one we couldn't really use because when they had because it used to be a bathtub, right? And they had changed it, so there wasn't a specific mount up there for the faucet, so they just ran the hose up and stuck it to the wall or whatever. But the wall wasn't thick enough for them to screw the thing and for it to tighten all the way on the drywall. And so it would just dangle like this against it, and they'd never bothered to do anything to fix that at all. And so it had started carving its way down the drywall
Right.
because they would, move it around when they would use it, and it would just slowly tear up the drywall. And so I did the cheapest, most garbage fix. All it was getting a thin piece of wood, cutting a hole in it, and putting it over the thing so
it's
the
got
wall was
something to
thick
rest on.
enough. Yeah, so the wall was thick enough to actually screw it. I screwed that board to the wall, and then I actually was able to mount the shower head properly.
Bugman.
I also put like water filters on all of the showers, so that way we could eliminate the hard water
All the
coming at it. So that way it doesn't like burn my skin. Because enough of that water makes your skin really dry and sad.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's really nice. So now that's my shower, and that's Shay's shower. All right, Drowned Catacomb. Enters battlefield tapped unless you control an island or swamp. Diabolic Intent. As an additional cost to play Diabolic Intent, sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a card. Put that card in your hand, then shuffle your library. How many fetch cards do you have in this deck?
3.
Oh, 3 of them.
Yeah, just tutors and Diabolic Intent.
Nice. Weren't you thinking about putting Diabolic Tutor or whatever in here? I know it's like a 4-drop fetch card.
Yeah, it's Diabolic Intent, except for worse, and you don't sack a creature.
Yeah, you pay 4 mana for it.
Yeah.
Which is like.
And, like, I
rough.
considered it, but I'm like, no.
That's fair. You can probably.
It's not super worth it to
Yeah.
me.
Odds are you're just better luck. Nykthos, Shrine Nyx, can't go wrong. Zolaport Cutthroat. When it or another creature you control dies, you can lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. Solid. Contentious Plan. Proliferate, draw a card. Swiftfoot Boots. Slaughterer Specialist. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 white human creature token. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1 counter on it. Okay, so you give everybody else a 1/1 human token when he enters.
Yeah, but what does this other thing do?
Whenever they die, like each opponent, whenever a creature dies, he gets a +1 counter. Whenever, is it specifically an opponent creature?
Whenever a creature.
No, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies.
So it doesn't matter. I can kill those 1/1 soldiers off easy.
Yeah, I think that's the point. Is you kill those little guys and then
Yeah.
he just gets bigger, and you're only paying 2 for a 3/3 anyways.
Yeah.
So he's already coming out as a bigger creature. Let's see. Sudden Spoiling. Split Second. As long as this spell is on the stack, players can't play spells or activated abilities that aren't mana abilities. Interesting.
That shit's fucking rude, dude.
So what does that even mean?
It means that you can't cancel that spell.
As long as it's on the stack, yeah, players can't play spells. So you have to wait for this spell to fully resolve before anybody can do anything.
Which means you couldn't counterspell.
Yeah, players can't play spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. Yeah, so you can tap things that aren't mana abilities. Yeah, so you can tap things for mana
Yep.
while it's on the stack, but that's it. But you can't pay mana into stuff.
Yeah.
What, the TV? Yeah, I moved it because it was sitting back behind the chairs over there, which is obviously super in the way. And so I moved it over there where there was nothing going on. And hopefully, eventually, I'll find a place that'll want it to, like, house it. If not, then I'll just sell it.
It's basically a mini arcade cabinet.
Yeah, put a quarter in. It's a touchscreen CRT as well. Pretty cool. Pretty fancy. But, yeah, someday I'll get that figured out. Ponder. Diabolic Tutor. Or no, Demonic Tutor. Sir Conrad the Grim. When another creature dies or a creature card is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature card leaves your graveyard, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Pay 2. Each player puts the top card of their library into the graveyard. See, it's him and then the altar that would go well together. Because if he's out on the field and altar's billing people just for playing shit,
Yep.
then his ability is going to proc a lot more often.
Well, and then theoretically at the beginning of my end step, every turn, I'll fucking spawn a bunch of dudes.
Yeah,
Like 2 or more every single time.
that's the hope.
That's the ideal situation.
Yeah. Yawgmoth, Thran, Physician. Protection from humans. Pay 1 life. Sacrifice another creature. Put a -1 counter on up to 1 target creature and draw a card. Pay 2. Discard a card. Proliferate. Hey, Diablo 4 updated.
Again.
Again, it updates like so many updates.
Yeah, but it's one of those like season style games. It's true.
Propaganda. Each turn, Each creature cannot attack you unless its controller pays an additional 2 for that creature.
And I'm thinking of switching that one out for Anticipate.
Yeah.
It's
Spellworks,
one of the big guys.
tap it. Add 1 mana to your mana pool of any type that any opponent's lands can produce.
Yeah, it's like exotic orchard.
Just pay for it.
It's funny, your character almost looks like something out of Bloodborne.
Kind of, yeah. Just with a sword.
I know. When we play Bloodborne, I'll have a sword in that one too, buddy.
Why? You don't
I
use
like
a gun?
the axe.
The gun's alright, it's just not great.
You don't like the pole axe?
Oh, well, that's a lot too, actually.
The knockback
But
is so
the
good.
the guns just are mid in the game.
The
there are
guns-
very rare builds built around it.
The guns specifically are meant literally to do interrupts.
Yeah.
So that you can, because like a lot of bosses and
That's
enemies.
how you parry people.
Yeah, if they go to attack you and you shoot them right before they get the chance to swing, you can stun them and then riposte them. Freaking
Ridiculous. Gun only runs.
People have done it.
That would, yeah, but I gotta imagine that'd be so freaking.
No, it'd be fucking rough.
It's a giant. Get him.
Artificer's Hex. Enchant equipment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if enchanted equipment is attached to a creature, destroy that creature. That's silly. Massacre Girl. Known killer.
murderer.
Known killer. Menace. Creatures you control have Wither. They deal damage to creatures in the form of negative encounters. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if its toughness was less than 1, draw a card.
Which a lot of the time it will be.
Yeah, all the time. Because of Wither. Shipwreck Marsh. This battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more other languages. Artifact Possession. It deals 2 damage to target artifact's controller each time target artifact is tapped or its activation cost is paid. Has no effect if cast on a continuous artifact. Soul Ring.
How much
Yeah.
damage do you think one of those guys will do to you with that 2-stick attack?
A lot.
I don't know.
Too much.
All of the health.
Withering Torment. Destroy target creature or enchantment. Use soil.
Also, what do you think I did with my doors?
It just looks new in the door frame. I don't know if you touched on the door frame, but the door itself looks new. Did you get
The door's the same, but I did add the
It
new
looks-
siding bit
second
thing so
try,
it seals
baby.
better.
I was gonna say it looks like you painted it or something.
Yeah, it seals on the side. What the hell are you doing?
Second try, baby.
The hell are you, a Spectre?
I'm a humanity wisp.
Why?
To do a thingy.
I'm hiding in the swamp, technically.
People kill you?
Oh, they definitely would kill me.
Did you get invaded?
No.
Just doing it for fun.
And what's the specific thing that you get from doing this?
A ladder.
Oh.
Gets to touch some
How the
doors.
frick did somebody even figure this out?
Because this wall says, show your humanity. And then somebody used chameleon while hiding or something. It's like, oh, that's what it means.
The
You're fighting that Silver Knight guy?
That's a different place.
Meat Hook Massacre. When it enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain it. Nice.
It's just a persistent enchantment.
Yeah. And you could just pay the 2 for it as well. Yes.
I know, I think there's a card in there where it's like, X cannot be 0. Because it does like a specific thing.
Right. Temple of the False God. Maybe I'll know that.
It's a giant.
Reliquary Tower, Techfall, Inquiry, Dominus, Flying. If you would proliferate twice instead. Pay
That's
3, remove 3 counters from among other artifacts, creatures, and or planeswalkers you control. Put an indestructible counter on him. Nice.
What a chump.
But more importantly than anything, freaking, it's proliferate twice.
Yeah, that's the big one. Jesus Glorious Resurrector. If a creature an opponent controls would die,
Oh, what the
exile it instead. At the beginning of your upkeep, put all creature cards exiled with it on the battlefield under your control. That's right.
They're so
They
cool.
gain decay. They gain decayed. Creature with Decayed can't block. When it attacks, sacrifice it at the end of combat. Okay, so doesn't do a lot, but you can use it with use abilities, which is the big thing.
And I can send him to the graveyard too.
Well,
Okay.
well, yeah, but I mean the point is though is like you take their creature, and if their creature has abilities that don't require them to attack,
Yeah.
then you just get to have those abilities forever.
Like if I stole
Cranko.
not Cranko,
But if you did,
Cranko or something like that.
yeah, we're just
Basically.
like
Freaking, I know there's a card. It does a similar thing where you can steal creatures, and it changes every instance of the creature on any card into vampire or a chosen creature type.
Yep, I remember that one.
And so I can change it so it's like slug, and then Cranko now produces slug creature tokens.
Yeah, he does. Equivalent to the amount of slugs that you have.
Exactly, because it changes all instances of freaking goblin with the word slug.
Yeah. But it wouldn't change him into a slug.
No, it would.
It does.
It changes everything on the card.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough. Would you hand me that box? Yeah, the one on the top.
Ah!
That's
Lino,
the
I'm
one.
sorry!
That's the one. Oh yeah, this is what this commander does in this deck specifically.
That is horrifying.
It's
It's very fucking rude, and that's why he's got all the proliferate.
Yeah.
Because he can proliferate those tokens onto people's creatures.
Gosh,
Yeah.
that is like an ultra priority target right there.
Yeah,
The
and that,
second that's like such a massive threat to token decks.
and that's the thing too is he's also got a bunch of cards in the deck that's whole purpose is to convert the opponent's creatures into ones with toughness of like 1
Or lower.
or lower. So that way, if they get one counter on
The
them, they
heck
just
is
die
the
instantly.
Phantom coming from?
From the dude, the
He's back.
douchebag summoner. Yeah, because I
didn't-
fucking died.
I didn't realize he respawned. Gosh, was that a pre-built?
No, it's one I'm working on.
Gosh, that's terrible.
I saw the commander on TikTok. I'm like, I want to build a deck.
Yeah, that's just scary.
And then I've thought about it for the last week, going through cards, fucking that kind of stuff. And I'm actually pretty happy with the way it
I
turned out.
found a new computer tabletop game. It's
Hey,
like
what's that?
Warhammer Fantasy, but like the actual like board game or like the tabletop game
Okay.
with the minis and everything. But it's
Okay.
on a computer. It's actually a
Ooh.
ripoff. It's going to be interesting to see if they get sued by Games Workshop or not.
Hope not.
I hope not too. It's actually really fun.
I hate when
It's an-
companies do that shit.
Oh yeah, freaking and Games Workshop just has a reputation for being just a really scummy company, kind of like Disney, where it's like, yeah, all of this stuff is all these IPs ours. If you try to do anything similar, we're gonna sue you till you run out of money, basically. Like
Yeah.
we're just gonna keep launching lawsuits at you, over and over and over again.
That kind of
So-
shit always reminds me of fucking the Nemesis system
Well,
and Warner Bros.
yeah, and they didn't even use it. They didn't even
They've used it twice, and that's it.
Yeah, but like that's the thing is they freaking made it their IP, and then only used it like for two. Well, the one was like the freaking Shadow of Mordor.
They like copyright it or something though. Basically, they'll only have that until like 2028
I know,
or something like that.
but it's just such a waste that they freaking
Yeah, it really
took
is a
possession
waste.
of that
Yes.
and just denied it to everybody and didn't do anything with it during that time period.
Yeah, they just
But-
kept it for no reason.
Yeah, but the reason that the game's name is Sovel, SOVL.
Oh, that is what you were playing last night. I was gonna ask.
Yeah, the coolest thing is it's free. It's an FTL tabletop game. It's free. The only reason you have to pay money is there are several factions that just come in the game that you can just play. Like you can play as humans, elves, dwarves, the vampire counts, and
Like it's not really fit in here.
like one other. I can't remember the name.
Fucking break.
I think it's because of the proxies in there.
And then they have a bunch of factions that you could pay like $5 to get. Like, oh, if you want to play the Lizardmen, you could pay $5. Or if you want to play the Ratmen, you could pay $5. Or there's a couple. The Beastmen, you could pay $5. But like, if you don't want to play any of them, you don't have to.
Fucking what?
And again, it's an FTL type game. So basically, when you first start the game, you pick like what commander you want. So you want like a melee commander, a mage commander, or a ranged type commander. And then they have their own bodyguard that's like the same kind of thing as them. So if you pick like the melee dude, like for the humans, you have the they're a bit different. For the humans, you have the sergeant, basically, the knight commander, and the wizard. If you pick the wizard, I think he has like a bodyguard of of archers. If you pick the knight commander, he has a bodyguard of knights. And if you pick the foot commander, then he has a bodyguard of footmen, I think swordsmen. And then, so you pick the commander that you start with, and then you get to pick 2 units. And basically, it gives you a selection of 3 units that are randomized that you can, like the starting units you can pick from. And then you pick one of those. And then it gives you another random selection of 3 units that you can pick from. And there's no tiki-paxies. So if you pick a ranged unit in your first selection, and then your next selection comes out, and you only have access to ranged units, you're going to have to pick another one. So you might have a semi-unbalanced army from the get-go. Or you might have a really good balanced army. And, like I said, you know how FTL works with the sectors, where like, oh, I go from one point to one point, and then it splits off, and I pick which direction I go. That's how the map layout for this game kind of works. And over the course of, like, because there's 3 acts, like, basically you go through the first one, doing all the little fights, and all the little, like, puzzly things, and then you get to the final battle for that act, and then you do that. And then you go to the second act, and then the third act is at the very end of the third act, the final fight there is the final fight. And basically every time that you finish, basically you have access to a certain variety of units from the get-go, but every time you complete a battle, you gain basically like a campaign point. And every 25 points, you get access to you permanently get access to a new unit. Like, so for me, when I was playing the orcs, the first new unit that I would unlock, I think, was it's like a goblin rock lobber. So I didn't have any way to use that in the campaign. But the second that I got the first 25 points, it's like, oh, okay, now there's a chance that you'll get the ability to recruit this unit from, in the campaign, or, you'll get it as a starter unit when you start your next run. And that happens, with 3 different units for each faction. So, I got the Rock Lobber, I got Trolls. That was the first unit I got access to after I beat the campaign once, was I got Trolls. And then the next unit was the Rock Lobber, and, the third unit was a Giant. And then that's it. I've unlocked everything for that faction. But it's been super fun. And again, the nice thing is it's free.
It's just a solid game.
Oh yeah, for a free game, it's awesome. Like I said, I'm just worried that because one of the YouTubers that I watch, Arch, he just recently did a stream on it, and I'm like, there is a very real chance that the reason that they haven't been sued is because they were under the radar. But now that they're being brought to attention, it's like, oh gosh, they might get a lawsuit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Some dumb shit.
Yeah, but it's super fun. Friggin', I started playing a lot more Counter-Strike because my cousins play Counter-Strike and Rivals. I'm not really interested in getting into Rivals because, like I said, I'm not big into superheroes. But or hero shooters. I don't really do that. But you know what Counter-Strike is, right?
Oh shit!
It's like a game that you play.
You got 2 teams that are killing each other. You got the terrorists and you've got the police, basically.
I did
SWAT.
not roll that direction.
And basically what happens is the terrorists, if one side kills all of the other side, they win. If the terrorists plant a bomb and it blows up, even if they all die, if the bomb goes off, they win. If they plant
terrorists win.
Yes.
Looking at a power
If
wheels.
It's actually gas powered.
Oh.
If the terrorists plant a bomb and the cops defuse it, they win no matter what. But if one side kills the other just plain, then that side obviously wins. And I'm not good. I'm not even okay. But I don't think I'm dog water now. So, I'm happy about that.
Guarantee you, your teammates think you're dog water.
No, I'm not, I'm usually not the last 2 or 3 people on the list anymore. But I'm definitely not good.
Not yet.
Or even okay.
Not yet.
But at least I'm not going the whole game without scoring no kills. So
Just you wait. Give it enough time. Bam.
that's the hope, is that I'll develop that battle sense and I'll get an idea of yeah, my instincts are telling me that dude's gonna walk around that corner, and the dude's gonna walk around that corner. I'm gonna shoot him in the face immediately, because that's literally like 90% of how I die is getting shot in the head instantly. It happens all the freaking time. Like, people are so good at just whipping around a corner and like just putting a single shot into your head with an AK and killing you instantly.
Yep.
Or like an
Right.
op, and just bam, he's dead.
People get really good sometimes. And they
Oh,
just
dude,
go freaking ham.
I know. I'm not even playing in competitive. I'm playing casual. I don't think I'm high enough level to play competitive, because like I think you have to be level 10 to play competitive, and I'm like level 4 right now. And your XP is based off of how good you do, and all the XP that you gain in casual is cut in half. Freaking. So,
Jeez.
yeah. But like on the flip side, there's also no friendly fire or anything. So, like, yeah. But yeah, it's freaky. You reading some comic books?
Always. Oh yeah, look at those comic books.
Is
Hell
that
yeah. That's a
Free
good
Ren?
image.
That's free Ren.
No, she's
I've
just
seen a lot of goth free
she's
Ren.
just
It's
a
really nice.
She's just a nice grandma.
But
No.
she's really not.
She is.
You and I watched different shows then, buddy.
We didn't. The problem is that you're basically just horny 24/7.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I
saw
Dude,
your
I watched
freaking
this-
wallpaper.
I watched the same show as you. I never saw her really as a grandma.
That's basically all she was. That's all she was.
She's more like a child, honestly.
She has some childlike qualities. But she is an ancient person that's trying to act like the younger kids.
That's not what a grandma is either, though.
I disagree.
Okay, well, you can be objectively incorrect.
Yeah, says the guy who's like, oh yeah, her titties are out. This is exactly what she's like all the
Listen,
time.
No, that's a separate reality.
Yeah,
Okay.
You are objectively, clinically insane.
What? No.
Masquerading as a, oh yes, I am the correct person in all arguments that I launch.
No,
Yes.
just most of them.
No. You're maybe like right 20% of the time.
No, it's at least 70.
No. No. Go ahead, throw out another objectively. Do it, Braden.
I do say objectively a lot. I will admit.
You do.
Ah! I didn't realize I was close enough to still get attacked by him.
So how's your weight loss journey going, Connor? 20 pounds.
No.
10
10.
pounds.
No.
15.
Nope.
6.
30.
No.
1.
0.
100. 0?
Point
How do you lose
5.
0?
That's what I want to know. That's why I picked up that membership, because I had literally... I'm at 350. Technically, as far as I understand it, I gained 5 pounds somehow. Somehow.
You
Must have ate some bread or something.
I haven't had any bread.
What's your diet? What do you eat?
Sometimes I have a bit of cottage cheese. In the
We can
mornings,
end it here.
In the morning, I'll have like 1 or 2 eggs, maybe.
Maybe.
Like for dinner, I'll usually have like a... I'll wait for you.
Alright, well, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing.
Definitely go check out our other content.
Next time, peace out.
Bye-bye.